We've just finished making a brand new album. It's a tribute to the beautiful singer-songwriter John Beavis. We've been thinking about this project for a long time, and it's got a lot of meaning and history to us and our family. Alanna and I first heard these songs when we were about 3 years old. Our mum and dad used to sing them to us, and they used to have a lot of muso friends and have lots of jams, so we listened to these beautiful songs and really grew into them and grew up with them, and I guess we're still learning what they mean.
Well, back in the 60s, Maudee and I were a folk duo. We used to sing around some of the clubs here in Melbourne. We actually went to the first Port Fairy Folk Festival and most festivals from that time on. In the late 70s, we were at the festival, and I remember it pretty well. We were in the audience at the Village Green, and there was a duo on stage that just stopped us in our tracks, and because they were so darn good. And it was this guy that people thought was John Beavis, and he was singing with
Di
McNichol. That's right. And so we just loved his stuff and bought the tape. We didn't know where John Beavis lived at that stage. We had no idea. We knew nothing about him. But he just knocked on the door one day, and he said, someone told me that you're singing my songs. And he said, yeah. He said, well, here I am, I'm John Beavis. Could I come in? I've got a bottle of wine. And we said, yeah, welcome, come in. Felt a bit, wow, this is amazing. But yeah, so from then on, he would drop in regularly, and we would have some lovely evenings singing around the bar.
When the girls were making their last album, Twin Lines, they decided they'd put their favourite John Beavis song on it, called Fly Like a Bird. And so we tried to get in touch with John Beavis to get permission to do it, or just to tell him we'd like to do it, because we knew it was in the public domain and they could do it anyway. But by this stage, we just couldn't locate him. So the girls went ahead and they recorded Fly Like a Bird, and everybody loved it. And it was getting up to launch time, and we hadn't been able to contact John. And then suddenly a letter arrived, and it seemed, the story was that John went to the library and Googled himself. And up came his name and the song Fly Like a Bird, sung by Alanna and Alicia. If I could fly like a bird over your...
But I can see why they're attracted to this music, because John's a very fine songwriter. The people that have covered his work, people like Martin Wyndham Reid, and the beautiful versions that he did with Di McNichol when I was here in the 80s. They're really treasured things in my musical memory, and that little cassette tape has been worn thin since those days.
Yeah, being an Australian songwriter, he really was the first person who showed us that you didn't have to, be Joni Mitchell or Bob Dylan or, someone in America or in another country, that you really could write your own kind of folk music about your own life. So he was a real inspiration to us. And so our mission with this new project is to get these songs back out there, because we really think that everyone should hear them. And so we want to make the album and tour it and bring it to a new generation. And John, when he realised that his performance days were over, he didn't put these songs within copyright, and so he said, I just want to send them like little boats out onto the stream and see where they land. And this is where they landed. So we're calling our album Songs I'm Singing With You. Because he was such an inspiration to Alanna and I when we were learning our craft. He's still one of the best songwriters that we know. And when we were teenagers, he actually gave us his beautiful guitar and said, I'm passing on the torch to the new generation of songwriters. And we were so stunned and moved by that generous gesture. This is the guitar that he's written all of these songs on that we are recording now. And we've written a lot of our songs on that very same guitar.
Because I think he felt that because he became sick when he was quite young, he didn't get the chance to tour his songs. They should have been, in our opinion, he's a world-class songwriter, and he's probably one of Australia's best ever songwriters.
Still 600 better than the way it was before.
Okay. My name is John Beavis. I am a civil engineer. I've suffered a serious mental illness since 1980, and I've come to terms with her. In my younger days, I wrote a lot of songs, like children. Bring them up right, kick them out the door, and see what happens. I was never interested in where the songs would go. About 2 years ago, they all came back, and now they're in a CD, which is put out by the Egan sisters, who are quite simply amazing. I was not strong enough to play in public really, or to travel, so I became interested in Chinese philosophy and the gospel, and here I am now. I haven't sung or played in public really since 1991, and I'm very, very happy. Above all, thanks to Sally, and all you should realise that this CD really is the cream. Thank you.
Could it be you don't care?